How's it going? So I thought I'd make a guide that kind of goes over the endgame loop um, that I go through each day. And that endgame loop has allowed me to get up to plastinium weapons. And I have, duraluminum for days. I got eaten by the worm a couple days ago, so I had to recover my gear. I still need to get my chest piece back. And so I've gotten in the habit of every time I start the day, whatever, based on whatever I'm doing, I'll have that set of gear ready. And then if I ever do spice farming again in the deep desert against the worm, I always leave everything behind and just take the compactor with me. So first I'll show my base. And this is actually a really cool thing about my base. So this is the top part of it, way up here on a mountain. The Atreides structure that I've started building up, and I'll show the lower part of my base, which goes down over there alongside the mountain cliff and these pods before I got the Atreides set up. Now, one thing I noticed about my base, so first of all, you got to have like the living quarters and stuff, so I put that all up here. And there's little like escape pods to just kind of come out and, oops. There we go. Now, one thing I discovered about my base is that I built it onto this cliff wall where nobody can access, and I'll show you where that is in a second. But one of the coolest things was there was this thing back here that I noticed. All right, so this is kind of, again, it's in the cliff wall. It's against the flat cliff wall. And I can walk out right here to like the landing area if I wanted to. All right, now there's this thing right here. I've installed a port. It's a hatch that goes down. Now, where does this go? I'm glad you asked. Let's put a little light on here. It goes into an underground cavern. Look how deep this is. You can't get into this thing. It's in the mountain. So I built a structure under here. I have not decided what to do with it, but you can see that it's like massive. It's this huge cavern. There's so much room for activities in here, right? And then there's even another room in here with another hatch that goes down into an even deeper part that I almost got stuck in, which is why I don't go in here that often anymore. Oh God, it's happening. It's my worst nightmare. Hatch. Hatch. Open. Open. Go. Get up. Okay, we're not going down there ever again. You know what I should install is a ladder. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the rest of my routine. And I'll show you, because I'll show you the other parts of the base. All right, that cave thing is pretty cool, though, isn't it? I thought it was pretty sweet. Let me turn that belt. If you guys didn't know, the personal light goes in one of those extra slots right there. All right. And if I wanted to, I could come out to the side right here, and there's a side area with a ladder that goes back in. All right, on to the other parts of my base. We've got a landing pad way up here in the sky. So this is kind of where it's at. This is by the aluminum. Pinnacle Station is right there. So I built along the mountainside right here. I'm going to just keep building all along this mountain right here. And you can see it's right by the aluminum. This is this huge aluminum pathway. And the people that are on my server are very polite. These guys are awesome. They did not block any of the roads. I took this subfief right here because I don't want anybody blocking the roads, so I sectioned off this whole area so nobody could build walls or anything like that. And I've got my missiled out assault thopter right there for whenever they buff that. I have another ornithopter, but it's sitting in the black desert. Or the deep desert, not black desert. That's a game. So in here, we've got all the death stills. I got 4. One of the advanced ones. 261 liters of water. Plenty of water. We got all the storage and stuff and all the facilities right here. Under here is the garage, and I could just drive out my buggy real easy. And look at that, aluminum right here, basalt. I've got everything I need, and look at this. Well, there used to be battery. There's scrap metal, and then there should be batteries. Well, there was batteries all along there. Is that a battery? Then, over here, right there, you have a camp for bodies. So, pretty much, you can see I've pretty much got everything I need right here. Now, what is the endgame loop like? So, in order to get enough resources to do this, you want to have a really good system worked out. So, usually what I do is I'll start the day by queuing up. All right, so you got a lot of aluminum ore. I can make 185, queue up 50. Duraluminum, all right, I can make that out of the aluminum, craft another 50. Now, I set that and I can forget about it. So now I just used that. While that's running, I'm going to go take care of some resourcing. But first off, I need to go get those bodies. Because I have 61 liters of water that I can still add in. So first we'll just come check. They got killed right there. So there's another camp right here. And you're going to see how fast this goes. It's really simple. Easy. All right, there's my bodies. Let's go. Put those in. Nothing to it. Just collecting bodies. And you want to start the day, get your water going. I don't even collect any blood to process anymore. I haven't done that for a while, so this is much more efficient. And what you're going to want to do is set the bodies in there and then go start doing your rounds. This morning I already did a jasmium aluminum round. The day before I did the silicon block crystals, the erythrite crystals. That is actually just right there. You just drive down this road right over there. It goes straight down into the what is that section called? Right here, the rift. It just, right from my base, you just drive straight down into the rift and then straight down out. The erythrite crystals right there. There is a part on the sand. Where is it? I believe it's right here. On the Eastern Vermilion Gap, right by this red zone, right here, there is a white sand area that you can collect flower sand with no worm aggro. So you can get thousands of flower sand right here. All right. So if you do all those rounds, you do erythrite crystals, you do flower sand, you come down here in shale for jasmium. There are 2 stations along the way to hit up when you fly down. The Beast Claw right there, and then the Edge of Acheron. Those will have chests that have the chance for the Syndicate arm, the Duraluminum light armor, which is the best armor in the game right now, I think. I haven't made the Plastinium armor yet, but I will. So I just made this sword. This is a Plastinium sword. My brother and I have been farming the labs in the deep desert. That's the hardest content in the game. So now let me put these bodies in. Do I have one for this big distiller? Yeah, that's going to give 50 liters. And let's see. Are these bodies still going? Yes. Okay, so I have room for another corpse. Now, also another tip for the boxes, these containers. If you didn't know this, a really easy way to deposit things into your containers is select which vehicle it's in right here and just drag it in. And that way I don't have to keep shuttling things back and forth between my different vehicles. You can just select from the drop-down menu. Super easy. I'm not really selling any of these blueprints, so I can go ahead and consume them. In case I die, I can always build something back. I'm just getting these in here so I can go do some of the rounds. All right, so I've got bodies processing for water. I've got a lot of water here. I've queued up my aluminum. I've queued up everything that I want to be running while I'm gone. I can even queue up some of the sand, some of the spice. So I've got 21 there. So let's craft another amount. Let's craft, let's say 15. So that's using a good amount of water. And this takes a while. This I need to get one of the better processors. You can see I still need the advanced weapons processor and the advanced garment fabricator. I had to go to my brother's base to make this sword because he has these built out. Here's the advanced survival fabricator. All right, so I've got my water. Now, if I was gonna go farm spice, right, in the deep desert, I would leave all of this armor up in my base. I would only use a still suit and a scrap metal knife, like nothing. You don't need anything. And then this industrial compactor. So right now, though, I need gold. I need more money, more Solari. I've got my things queued up. I've already done my aluminum round. I've done my jasmium round. I've got duraluminum being crafted and aluminum being crafted. While that's working, I've got about 45 minutes to an hour until that water all processes, and I got to go queue more stuff up. So I keep an efficient cycle going. Because even if you're not going to use it, just keep producing at those max tiers. You're going to want some aluminum, duraluminum, and then plastinium, and then the spice. Keep those. And then every once in a while, if you need to go refill with iron and steel, if you need a couple little water tanks or here and there, when we shifted our base out to the deep desert, one of them, it was good to have some of those other materials as well. And this is just to keep the efficiency of your time. Otherwise, it can really stack up, you know, the different things that you have to do and maintain. So I'm just going to fly over the deep desert right now and show you what that looks like. There's a good strategy that you can have to, if you're nervous about PvP, you don't even need to PvP. You can go into the front section, and I'll show that in the deep desert. So again, I'm going to the deep desert after I've done my aluminum jasmium rounds. I've done those the 2 duraluminum checkpoints of the Harkonnen bases. And so now what I'm going to do is let's just go in. Let's see which side. I did the right side this morning, so I have the middle and the left. Depending on where you fly in, it's going to take you into a different section. Okay, so this whole place where we are right now, you can tell by this color right here, that is not red, so we're not in a PvP area. And actually, this whole front section, all right here, A anything, A1 through 8, is safe. There are crashed ships, so now we want to go to one of the facilities. That's a crashed ship. Because we're looking for gold, so we're looking for chests. Now, we could stop by one of those ships to see if there's PvP. That might be fun. It's the weekend. People are out and about. Have been getting a little bit more practice in PvP. There's a lot of really good players out there. You know, the ones that actually are going into the labs in the deep desert, they're probably going there looking to fight or to farm that gear, which means they might have that gear already. So, all right, what do we got? I wonder if it's worth popping in for the chest. Let's see. Someone was already here. Did they loot this? They took they must have just been here. Oh, there's still gold there. Should have taken that. I love these binoculars. Okay. 280 gold. Pocket that. I need all the gold. My taxes are going to be high because of the amount of space that I'm taking up. Alright. Now, one big tip. I posted this about on my channel, but I got eaten by the worm gloriously in battle. I was gunning down people from the ground, trying to protect my brother in combat. We were in a spice field, and I couldn't get out in time. The worm was there. So I got baited big time. It was great. Live and learn. But I did get my ornithopter back into my device, and when I got eaten by the worm, I spawned with my vehicle respawn tool on my bar still. Hey, it's another Atreides. Everybody harkening on this server? I shouldn't say everybody. There are a lot of harken on this server that are trying to kill on sight. Alright, so I'm just going to do one of these, but you basically have, there's one or two in each zone section in the A's. There's, I think there's probably like 5 or 6 of these total. And what you want to do is, and a lot of times they're already clear, because people are, this is the easiest entry point to the deep desert. It's not PvP, no one's going to aggro me in here, and the chests are shared, so everybody will get the loot. In the PvP sections, it's whoever loots it first, and then you got to wait for the respawn. Oh, that was too high. I think we want to get all the chests for the gold, because gold, you'd be surprised. Like, after buying all of the cosmetics and stuff, and then you do all the quests, and you're like, oh crap, where do I get all the gold from? Well, it's looting these chests like this. Now, I will say, running this spec, it's really good for what I'm trying to do, but I do miss Bindu Sprint. I'm not gonna lie. Bindu Sprint is fun to just run around, but man, I was watching these guys play a PvP fight club right outside one of these crashed ships, and I was standing on this rock that was right in the middle of it, but it was a safe section. So I was just had my binoculars out observing, and this one guy was dueling one of the other players, and they were dogging on him for using Bindu Sprint to escape, reset, and then come back. Now, I will say, that was a little schoolyard. You know, it was pretty stupid because you have 3 abilities. You cannot hold it against somebody to use one of 3, right? Like, come on, cry me a river. He's using Bindu Sprint. You gotta have a counter for that. Slot crippling strike, dude. Quit being a baby. He's like, I don't want to waste my durability on you. Good one, bro. All right, well, that guy was just using one of his Bene Gesserit abilities, and you should not be dogging on him for that. So, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got the band and I went the wrong direction. I wasn't paying attention. Now I'm confused. This is red. Didn't I get the purple? No. Huh. Okay, I already got that over there. Maybe I didn't grab the purple band. Oh, I didn't. Aha! I wasn't paying attention. I was talking. Boy, it'd be nice if some mobs spawn or anything could get some combat. Alright. In we go. I thought those plants were people. I was gonna go into combat. Oh! Ah, it's station. Station. I think that's the heavy armor, I believe. Whoa, look at that gold. Take that gold. Don't need any of the other stuff. I've got a million of that other stuff. Alright, gold rounds done. Cool. Alright, so then you're going to do that for all of those, right? You're going to get all of the free labs out of the way while your duraluminum and aluminum is processing. Now the way that you can do this, and I put the... there's usually a taxi. I don't know if you know this. There's a taxi service that can fly back in the deep desert. If you know where, if you have to find those points, they look like a little globe. This. So because I don't have anything in my ship's inventory, I can just use that taxi service to get back real quick, deposit the gold, and then go spice farming. Like all day today is going to be spice farming because that is the most important resource. And I will show a little bit of the spice farming. Might as well, why not? Because it is a little treacherous. And I have been killed, personally, doing it. Destroyed by the worm. So, now this is the... Yep. This is the flight path. It's free. It can take you back. Right here.
Can I fly you somewhere today?
Yes, you can. I would like to go to Pinnacle Station. Now, this is right where my base is near, so I can... That's another thing I'd recommend for your bases. Make it by a flight path, if you can. Sort of near it. It just makes things really convenient. For exactly this, if you come back from the deep desert. Alright, so I'm just dropping off my gold. I'm going to leave all of my gear, and then you're going to see the process for spice farming, the new process. Because I am not taking any risks anymore. The loss to the worm was devastating. I had just done the quest for the last gun. I was out there with the last gun trying to fend off all of the people that were fucking with my brother. And attacking him with rockets. He got blown out of the sky. These Harkonnen are kind of just deadly, dude. They're coming after us. So I was down there doing a good part. I was like defending my brother with the last gun. I got fucked. So now the only way I can get a last gun is if I find the recipe, which I don't even know if it's gone into rotation yet. So I have to be patient. So I basically just have to bite the bullet, and I can't do those engagements anymore. All right, this is the super secret locked giant chest. Oops. Alright, so now I'm going to go out and spice farm. First, I'm just going to put back a lot of this stuff. Putting on my still suit. Leaving everything behind that is important. Okay, now I'm going to put the gear in here. Okay. The sword, the cutter stays behind. Everything stays behind. Do I have battery? Okay. Oh. Gotta have some crappy green sword, just in case. Take the shield off. If you don't know this, this attracts the worm like crazy. Do not use a shield on the sand. Leave it behind. You don't need it where you're going. You need a battery pack and you need a dispenser, so those are expendable. Okay, I'm going to stop and get some batteries. One battery, and then I'm going to go. Okay, let's make a large battery. Gonna have to go get fuel cells soon. Luckily, they're right outside. Probably should repair. Where am I at? Yep. This is where that tree, the planetologist tree, comes in handy. You're always repairing out here. Did my hull get damaged? It did, from a sandstorm. Oh. Why do I always forget where the welding wire is? There it is. All right. Okay. Everything's ship shape. The engine is always the hardest one to get. Ah! No! Get!
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Sandstorm, eh? 1 minute? Do I have enough time? Yes, I do. Let's go. It's coming. Last look at the base. It's gonna go all the way up that mountainside. Got a bunch of other cool bases all around here on my server. Can we outrun the sandstorm? I think we got it. It's fine. Alright, I've got the compactor. Yep. Is the compactor repaired? That should be fine. So, I am going to fly in on my usual pathing. When you first zone into the deep desert, most people are going to have these high traffic lanes. It's right where you zone in. It's most likely to find people. So you want to try and offset yourself from that just slightly if you don't want to bump into any potential hostiles. Now, the protocol is, if somebody starts jumping me with missiles, I'm going to pop out, and then I'm going to capture my device and let them kill me with the missiles. I want them to kill me. If they stop shooting you, they're trying to let the worm kill you. Get back in your ship and fly out. All you do is fly up to the highest altitude, 800, and then start at your max velocity. I would not be in an MK4. I would highly recommend getting an MK5 Scout. And then you don't have anything to worry about. Your fuel is your friend. Alright, so now my brother and I are duoing, but if you're solo, you can do this as well. He's actually traveling right now too, so I'm mostly solo. I have built a small forward base right here that is in the safe area of the deep desert. And he has built, and I could have used my third subfief, but I'm blocking that road path so people can't build walls over there. So he used one of his extra subfiefs, and he built a forward base in the hostile part of the deep desert, a staging area where we can land and repair and things like that. I highly recommend setting up these staging areas like this. Having this here, it's a little spot you can repair as well. I put a repair. There's my other ornithopter in there. So if I ever really died horribly, I have a way home if I need to. So I left that here. It doesn't take that many resources to get this set up. It's right by one of the crashed ships, so I come out here sometimes. I'll literally just go on the rocks right here. I'll pull out my binoculars. I'll just be sitting in the shade or whatever. And there's people that are playing Fight Club over here, dueling, and I can heckle them or like go duel them or whatever. It's pretty fun. Deep desert is definitely, I really love the deep desert in the sense that, and think about it, I lost everything. I lost a last gun, you guys. Think about that. That should have devastated anybody to where they don't want to play anymore. But it doesn't bother, like, you know, look at your gear as all of this is expendable. The skills, this is the meat and the potatoes, right? That's where really you're building. I didn't lose my build. I just lost a one-of-a-kind last gun that you can only get one way right now through one quest. You know? It's, Alright, so I'm slightly offset here. What I'm looking for right now is a spice plume of any kind. They come in sizes here in the deep desert. So one of them is going to be the standard size that you see in Haga Basin, and the other is scaling much, much larger. I mean, they get huge. And there's actually even a special sandworm that I don't know if people have seen, but it's 10 times as big as the other sandworms. And it's just this like huge mouth that just comes up and takes the whole spice field. All right, so this is what you want to do. You can set it, I can just no hands this glide this whole way. If you set the cursor, you see this little cursor right on that plane point, and then you just get to your max speed. You might have to nose down a little bit. So right now we're in section B5, all right? B, A, B, C, D, all the way up to I. And then it goes out 8 sections, 88 tiles. 88 tiles. We're going to want to go out to at least E or F. Somewhere like D, E, or F. We'll start seeing some of these plumes. We're looking for a giant explosion or just purple, you know. And right now, because it's open desert and there's nobody around right now, I want to get more height just real quick. I'm going to leave the cursor there. Now watch, I don't even press anything. Goes right back to the max speed. The cursor stayed the same, and now I'll just glide. You hold right click, you can look around. You're going to want to pan. And I'm just scanning the area for a purple thing on the ground. Now there's a trick, because you know the worm is going to get attracted to where you are. So what does that look like? You know, there's a balance between your time that you have to and the sounds that you have to be listening for. So hopefully I can just find one spice pile. Just one. It's kind of peaceful, you know, you're just kind of gliding. And I picked an off path, so you'd really need to be I mean, it's so vast, you would need these massive hunting parties to find people, or just have bad luck. You just bump into somebody. But here's the thing. Are they an assault thopter? If you see 3 wings, you can outrun them every single time. So they can't catch you. Just keep flying like this. Or just go way up into the air where their weapons stop working. The weapons stop working at a certain altitude. So now I have a forward base out here with my brother, 5,000 meters from here. So I will fly there first as a checkpoint, sort of an anchor point, and then I can go scout around there. Now there is still one thing that always makes me nervous when I'm in the deep desert, and it's going and looting the crashed ships. If you guys don't know this, the crashed ships have some of the best blueprints in the game. Like 3 blueprints at a time. There's a little panel that you have to cut off. But it's really hard to get to that panel, and it's nerve-wracking because you fall off, you gotta like grapple up, and then you're making noise for the worm to come. So far, I haven't seen anything along this line. Now, sometimes you gotta get way out here. So once you get close to like 500 meters, then I would say just reset altitude. From this forward base, I've done 1 glide back before, so it is possible if you just set it right. You just really want to make sure that you're always traveling the top speed that you can while you're gliding. I don't see any clouds or plumes. Usually you can see a jet coming out of the ground. There's the crashed ship. I don't know how long it's been there. You know, if the worm is gonna come get it right now. But I'll show you. There's my forward base right there. Oh, I don't have my cutter on me. I can't get in it. Okay. But the panel, if you guys want to know, is right there. That box, that's the panel. Cut that off, you get 3 recipes that are plastinium. Probably should have brought my cutter. Oh well. It's always there. We built the base right by the crash ship. We looted that thing like 20 times already in this cycle. Alright, and this is it, like literally, I want to show you how basic this forward base is. This is it. Couple containers, couple power things, a way to fly in, a repair station. That's it. You got titanium right there. You can, and there's titanium islands somewhere out here. All right. That's just a momentary checkpoint. All right. So I'm gonna go this way, northwest west. Get the max speed. And now we look for the plumes. This is what you do. You can either zigzag or go in lines, you know, just all the way down, all the way back. So now some things can happen while you're out here, some variation. Some pretty intense sandstorms can come. Now, one thing I will disclaimer, the sandstorms in the deep desert, they disable, there's electrical component or electrical capabilities of the storm. So it disables shields of your bases. So don't ever leave precious spice or storage overnight anywhere in your bases. One bad sandstorm, people can just come in and loot. So always shuttle it back once you're done. It's just meant to be a staging area. This is kind of the peaceful glide, right? We haven't run into any hostiles. We're literally just surveying the area for purple. You'll see a little purple spot. Now, if we were lucky, we'll get a plume explosion. But it's kind of random. Like yesterday, I got 6,000 or 7,000 total spice. But other days, it'll be, you know, less. So now we're in G4. Oh, what's that? Is that a registered spice field? Let's see. I wonder why that showed up. If that was like from the other day. So I got nose down a little bit right there. So it picks up speed. You want to get to the top speed. Okay, so I wonder if this was the old spice field. That must have been the other day. Yeah. Let's go more north. G3. Got a crashed ship here, but I don't have my gear to fight. Boy, I guess there must be just a lot of people out today scooping it up. Because if you go a long time without finding it, it probably means that when it is there. Now here's a big island of, looks like titanium. So you can see we're pretty far out here where titanium is. Oh, there we go. Now we have to be careful. People probably saw that. All right, so let's get in and out. That was quick. I was lucky to be out here. I don't want to call out where it is. People will come and try and grief. Huh. People are already there. Or it's an old one? All right. Shoot them all down. Don't worry about the noise. Collect it, maybe. Oh, there's not a lot left right here. Worm aggro looks okay. Just keeping an eye. You'll hear him start coming out of the ground. That's when you leave. Go. Ah, the thrill of spice farming. They'll probably come by. Don't worry about it too much. Okay, as soon as he leaves. Yep, go back down. No problemo. Let's see if we can get that lower spot. Gotta be a little careful when it's slanted. Kind of land like that with your ship. Okay, hopefully this is the good stuff. This is, look how thick this is. Come on, give me a big one. 68. That's not bad. And don't get freaked out by the noise. It makes the weirdest noises. Getting that spice today. You gotta be quick. You don't know if hostiles are out there. He's coming soon. I can hear it. There he is. Go. As soon as you hear that noise, take off. There he is, right there. How much do we got? 1,500, so I can still get more. Always hydrate. Okay, this is the last one, then I'll go. Go. Woo! That was close. You see my ship shaking? Okay, he should be gone. I get these last few. Okay, fly it like that. Perpendicular. Alright. Go. Get it. Okay. We got almost the max. We could get a little bit more. I think 2,500 is the max carry. Alright, so let's go this way a little bit, off of the path directly back from that spice thing, because we'll get shot out of the sky. Alright. So now I'm going to glide back over to the midway base. Don't even need my hands. Could probably walk AFK for about 30 seconds. But I won't do that. That would be reckless. And, you know, once I get back, I'll probably end the video, but I just wanted to show what one full loop looks like as far as the deep desert, and it's not that scary. I mean, you just have to play smart. I'm avoiding common traffic pathways. People tend to go look for the fighting in the same places. There's another crashed ship right there. If I had my cutter tool, I'd probably get the recipes out of that. Nice and peaceful, just to fly back. Keep an eye out around us for anything. Now you can see how far away you can see this. So that's attracting people. But you have to be this far out to even see that that plume is there. That's a crashed ship flying down. You do not want to get hit by that. It'll kill you. Dude, that is crazy. That could just literally... it means someone's over there. Oh, shit. Look at that. Boom! Don't get hit by that. Okay, forward base is not that far away. They're out PvPing. I can tell. They're talking in chat. It's a dangerous run back. Oh, there's some spice right there. Somebody already cleared all that. 2,000 meters, and then we have the home stretch. Yeah, there's so much robust combat in this game with all those talent trees and abilities. And so it's interesting. There's this whole, there is this whole other aspect of the game that's the survival, which you almost have to play a little bit differently. All right, we're just going to repair the wings. Because if you start taking any damage, they're going to be shooting at the wings. You want to make sure that those are max health. Okay, now we're good to go. I got the spice. Aim for the home base right here. Where is it? The home base is directly south right here. Let me aim just right. Go up really high. Maximum velocity. Yep. Okay. And just make sure it's aimed just right. All right. And now we fly back with our haul and hope nobody guns us out of the sky. All right. It's kind of peaceful to fly back. Can contemplate the build. So this is where I'm at right now with the build, and I've posted a few different variations. I've gotten a bunch of great feedback and collaboration about the Bene Gesserit registry skills, rapid register. Seems like it'll be worth it. I've got a couple iterations of this, you know, with crippling strike and where is it? Weirding step. Really good ability. So you can go weirding step in there, and then also have crippling strike as well. But the most versatility I found was this setup. And of course you want to take up into here to get the gunsmith and field maintenance, garment keeper, tailoring. This is just if you are going against a Bene Gesserit. Max compaction, max cuttering array, you want that. I'm probably going to max out vehicle mining. Just checking back in real quick. So you can see I've completed all the journeys except I guess some of the deep desert stuff. Research, I've got most of this. These are all the blueprints that I've found. So plastinium, I've only got these two. I made the helix pick, and then I got to make those too. Got quite a bit of the duraluminum stuff in here. So, hey, it goes by so fast when you're looking at the talents. Still suit. This I got this from one of the quests. There's the worm tooth from when I got eaten by the worm the other day in Deep Desert. That was fun. Home stretch. We're almost back. Now, I know this might be a little bit long, but I really wanted to show the full loop of the experience. So, you know, waking up in the morning, doing a couple rounds of aluminum, jasmium, getting a few of those chests, setting the bodies in the still, and then venturing out to the deep desert. That really is the simple process. Deep desert has two different ways that well, three. One, I'm going in for titanium stravidium mining. That's it. I bring the cutter array. Two, specifically spice farming, where you don't wear anything important and you just have the cutter tool. Or not the cutter tool, the compactor. And 3 is if you're looking to have fun and you're bored and you just want to go around and look for hand-to-hand combat PvP or maybe aerial PvP. I don't necessarily prefer the aerial PvP. It's cool that it's there, but at the end of the day, look at all of these skills. If there was like a plane fighting, like jet fighter pilot tree, then that would make sense. You have skills that you can spec into it or something, and then skills you can spec into your buggy or like resistance to quicksand. I don't know. That'd be really cool. But I feel like when I'm in aerial combat, I'm not using all of these cool abilities that I just spent that whole time practicing. You know, and I want more of that practice. So I don't know if they need like an arena to queue up or something. That'd be really cool. But, all right. So now I've made it back. Zone changing, so I'm about to go PvE, so I'm safe. So now the spice that is in my haul is safe. The most valuable resource is spice. Everything needs that spice range at the very end game. You need a lot of it. Oh, look at this guy. Does he have rockets on? That's an assault thopter. He's probably going. He's a Atreides. The Atreides just shoot other Atreides on my server. Everybody's free for all. It's kind of funny. There's really no faction preference or anything like that. Now, so I think the next video that I wanted to do is more of the fleshed out endgame combat. So I'll be going into the labs this week more as the blueprints rotate with my brother, and we're going to be looking for both PvE, the blueprints experience, and shaping up our combat techniques and doing that lab circuit quicker. You know, before when I went in solo, I was blind. I had no idea what to expect, and it was really challenging, and it took a while. It was really tough solo. It definitely seems like it's meant for a group of 4. And I've seen groups of 4 in there. I don't know if 4 is the cap. I haven't tried expanding a group past that. So I'll be doing more of that. I think I really want to flesh out, you know, builds and build application and where to take them, because this game seems like it has, because it only has 3 things you can choose, there's a lot of combinations that still will be viable. If you had 20 abilities that you can slot, everybody, it would be homogenized. Everybody would be doing the same thing. You'd have very little variation. So because of the fact that it only has 3 containers to put in, then, you know, you essentially have a lot more combinations you can do. And I've come up with a few good options, but again, really, it needs more combat testing. The PvE combat testing is extensive. There's tons of PvE combat testing. I need more hand-to-hand PvP combat, and not necessarily fight clubs. I mean, I want organic fighting when you're in the fray. Fight clubs, I've done those in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. They behave differently even than organic fighting in the wild. Wait a minute. There's my base over there. Oh, look at that. These guys have built up some pretty sick bases. Alright, approaching in on my palace, and I'm going to land on the top, deposit the spice, and then ready my combat gear if I'm going to go back out for some lab hunting, which I might do. I'm not decided. Later, I might do a little bit more spice farming today, and then go hunting. Alright, now I don't even need to go into that inventory because I'll show you what I'll do. I come back. Scout Ornithopter. Boom. There's all the spice. Just like that. Alright, so if you've been sticking around, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining. This is my humble abode. It's got a nice view. This game is amazing. I'm going to play this game. I mean, to put it in perspective, I've played MMOs, pretty much all of them. I have characters in all of them. Like World of Warcraft, I started playing that when I was back in college when it first launched back in 2004. So a long time ago. Love MMOs. This is the first survival MMO that I feel has just got this long stay. They're going to only add to it. I've been having a great time. It's just fun farming the loot, having fun in small encounters and PvP engagement, and fleshing out the builds. So I'm going to continue making Dune content, I think. I'm going to keep shaping up some theory crafting for the builds and different setups. And if you have any thoughts or anything about the builds, please leave a comment and let me know. There's still a few things we're figuring out with the registry for the voice compel, various things. So love to hear your feedback. I appreciate you joining me. My name is Kevin, and I hope you like my builds. Thanks.